the fall election.
In singling out Fox News, the top media strategist at the White House accused the channel of waging a, quote, war on President Obama.
Mr. Bush, you destroyed the evidence that contradicted the resolution. You jammed down the Congress's throat the way you jammed it down the nation's throat. You simply resubmitted it with phrases amounting to "see, I done proved it," virtually written in the margins in crayon. You defied patriotic Americans to say the emperor has no clothes, only this time with the stakes, as you and the mental dwarves in your employ put it, being a mushroom cloud over an American city. And as a final crash of self-indulgent nonsense, when the incontrovertible truth of your panoramic and murderous deceit has even begun to cost your political party seemingly perpetual congressional seats in places like North Carolina and last night Mississippi, you can actually say with a straight face, sir, that the members of Congress, the political heat gets on and they start to run and try to hide from their votes, while you greet the political heat and try to run and hide from your presidency and your legacy. 4,000 of the Americans you were supposed to protect are dead in Iraq, with your only feeble, pathetic answer being, "I was told by people that they had weapons of mass destruction."
In the fall election.
In singling out Fox News, the top media strategist at the White House accused the channel of waging a, quote, war on President Obama.
It is not, Mr. Bush, about what your addled brain has produced in the way of paranoid delusions of risks that do not exist, ready to be activated if some Democrat, and not your twin, Mr. McCain, succeeds you. The war in Iraq, your war, Mr. Bush, is about how you accomplished the derangement of two nations and how you helped funnel billions of taxpayer dollars to lascivious and perennially thirsty corporations like Halliburton and Blackwater, and how you sent 4,000 Americans to their deaths for nothing. It is not, Mr. Bush, about your golf game. And, sir, if you have any hopes that next January 20th will not be celebrated as a day of soul-wrenching, heartfelt thanksgiving because your faithless stewardship of this presidency will have finally come to a merciful end, this last piece of advice: when somebody asks you, sir, about Democrats who must now pull this country back from the abyss you have placed us at, when somebody asks you, sir, about the cooked books and faked threats you foisted on a sincere and frightened nation, when somebody asks you, sir, about your gallant, noble, self-abnegating sacrifice of your golf game so as to soothe the families of the war dead, this advice, Mr. Bush: shut the hell.
The reality of it is that Fox News often operates almost as either the research arm or the communications arm of the Republican Party.
Yeah, well, you know what? I want to do everything I can to make this thing work, this new presidency work, and I think that the successful model.
You just talked about
yeah, that's my job.
My job is to help this country. Is to make this presidency work.
It's to make this work successfully, because this country needs a successful presidency more than anything right now.
The reality of it is that Fox News often operates almost as either the research arm or the communications arm of the Republican Party.
With my colleague Chris Wallace. Chris?
Thank you, Brett. Good evening, gentlemen. Let's talk about illegal immigration. Governor Romney, in recent weeks you have gone after Mayor Giuliani for running what you say was a sanctuary city for illegals. But as governor of Massachusetts, you did nothing to stop Cambridge, Somerville, or Orleans, all of which proclaim themselves to be sanctuaries. In fact, you didn't even catch the illegals who were mowing your front lawn.
Hey, I'm sorry, Chris, but Mitt Romney is not a Democrat, so can you please refrain from asking him any tough questions or putting him on the spot, because that would make you fair and balanced. Okay, continue.
So the question is, so the question is, why should we believe that you would be any tougher on illegal immigration than Mayor Giuliani?
Well, Chris, first